Hello ladies and gentlemen, today on Model Master channel we are going to be building the AH-64 Apache attack helicopter. Now today it's going to be a fun day. There's going to be a 3-part episode. So not normally these sets would come in bags like this, but I just want to cut that all out like this. So make sure you got a pair of scissors or knife family member on around you to help you so you don't end up cutting yourself. You just open it up just like that, tear that off. We're going to set those plastic bits just right there. Now first we're going to take a look at this. Take a look at all those details. Now this will be my first time building a helicopter. I've built many things. I've built a Hummer, as you can see right here. I've built Hummers, I've built tanks, and I've built jets. I've never built an Apache attack helicopter. Now, first and foremost, look how big that thing is. Now, that's the good size of my arm. So we'll be setting that right off to the side, right next to its brother, just right there. First and foremost, best part about model building, the most important thing about it, is the instructions. Now you can just put that box off to the side for now. Let's see what we're getting into. Ooh, you got some decals. Nice, beautiful decals. And yeah, we can toss that out. But as you can see, you got your instructions right here. So let's go ahead and get started. First, gonna fold it up here. Hopefully that will stay up. Alright, so first it looks like we're going to be building the air intakes, air outtakes, whatever they are called. I'm not too good with helicopters. But first we're going to want to get E18. So we're going to go ahead and want to grab our little tools here, our little pliers. I'm going to go ahead and cut out these little things. Now make sure you're always paying attention. Always be careful, because this is very delicate and takes a lot of time. And the number one rule about model building is safety, safety, safety. Don't ever try and use a piece of equipment that you know you're not good with. Always ask for help. When I was just starting out, I know I was not too good at this, but I always ask for help with stuff. So we're just going to go ahead and shave off a bit right there so that it looks a bit better. Make sure you don't got those little calluses there, like right about there. If you do and you don't got anything to shave it down, that's fine. But what are you going to do about that, right? Okay, so we're going to have it set like that. Here, I'll go ahead and move it down so you guys can see. Next, we're going to want to get E21. And E21 will be right here. So we're going to go ahead and grab our handy dandy pliers. Just take a quick snip out of these. We're going to set this off to the side. You always want to make sure that you have glue handy, because if you don't got glue handy, then things don't go too well. So speaking of glue, here we go. That is perfecto. Always make sure you got some cardboard on hand. If you don't, that's fine. Just head to your recycling bin or any kind of bin. Make sure you grab just a little piece of cardboard so that this glue does not get stuck on any surfaces. This is basically super glue in a nutshell. It will pretty much glue your fingers together, to say the least. So you just want to get a little tiny piece of that. And then what you're going to also want to do is get toothpicks, which I seem to have forgotten, so I will be right back. Sorry, people. Alright, sorry for that little intermission. Make sure you always have a toothpick or two on handy, because trust me, it makes a whole heck of a lot bigger difference. So what you're going to want to do, you're going to want to just get a little dabble just like that. Just going to want to lightly put it on the edges here, right where the dimples go in. Remember, you gotta keep very, very, very patient. Modeling is not easy. It took me a little took me a little less than 2 months to get it, but once you get it, it gets much easier. So next you're going to put these two together. If they will cooperate. There you go. You're just going to want to blow on these gently. Until they are stuck together. So as you can see, those are pretty stuck together. And if you want to be safe, you can always grab a bit more of that excess glue and just put a little dabble on the side. Not too much though. Now if you get paint on your hands, that is completely fine. Same with glue. You get any of those on your hand, that is completely fine. I'm sure it will wash off. You're not going to be stuck like that forever. So next on the instructions, let's take a look. We're going to need to get E23 and D23. Alright. This. Here we are. So you're gonna want to go back to the same one with the air intakes. You're gonna want to find this one right here. Now, you guys might ask me, hey, why aren't you using an X-Acto knife? I do use an X-Acto knife at sometimes, but to get these pieces out, I just find the pliers a whole heck of a lot easier to use. We're just gonna go ahead and take a few little snippets at this. Hopefully this doesn't fall off the table. Now you're gonna want to find out which way it goes. So for this one, you're going to want to set your model exactly like this. And then you're going to, it looks like on the instructions that it will sit in like that, which will be perfecto. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go ahead and set this down. And if your glue is all dried up, don't worry about that. You're just going to want to take a little bit more glue, put a dabble on there. I personally don't even push down on the glue, because then you get way too much. I might have a bit too much here, but you don't want too much. You always want to save your glue, because then the more glue you have for your next model, the less glue you need to spend money on. which is very good. We always like saving money. So when my camera focuses, just going to want to slowly apply that just all the way around. Put down your toothpick or whatever you're using, and then put it just right on there. Now, for this, you don't really need to use little tweezers like this, but if you do, if you want to, it just makes it a bit easier. Just makes things a lot easier to handle. Then you're going to want to push that down, making sure that looks all locked in. You're going to want to either let that dry, like sit and dry, or you're going to want to blow on it. Now, blowing times don't take that long, but usually when you're done with these awesome air takes, you will have a model that looks a bit like this. Now, let's see how to turn this into this. Now, I'm sure it won't be that hard. It might take me a couple videos, maybe 3 or 4, and I'm sure you're gonna love those ones. Make sure to hit subscribe on these ones, and if you want to see more of these model videos right here, make sure to go down there somewhere in here, hit that notification bell, and then you'll get notified every time I do a helicopter, I do a plane, I do a car, a tank, whatever. I do read my comments regularly, so if you guys got any suggestions, make sure to let me know, and then I will make sure to listen, hopefully, and if there's many comments, I will pick the one that has the most likes. So, next, once that is all dried out, once that is all dry, what you're going to want to do, you're going to go back to your instructions. Now you're going to want to go here. So you're going to want to flip this like that. Now you're going to want to take your main body. Now, the fun part, I think, about modeling is the fact that you can make it whatever you want. You can either have it this side, or you can have it this side. I'm gonna be making this side first, and if you guys pay very close attention, yes, you will notice I am left-handed. Now, for spots, like really long ones, like right here, you can see it's connected, long spot. That is where I will suggest you very carefully and very delicately take your X-Acto knife. Now, these things, they are razor sharp, so do not do this on your own. Always, 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 always get an adult to help you if you are under the age, because these will cut your fingers off. Now, as long as you're careful, you should be fine. Now, normally I would have cardboard under here, but I don't have it right now. But I will go ahead and show you guys later. But we're just going to sort of do a rocking motion. Go lightly. Now that we've thinned it out a bit, we're going to always make sure to put our cap back on the X-Acto knife just like that. Make sure it is tightened. Now that we've gotten that little bit thinned out a bit, then I'm going to go in with my pliers, cut it a bit more. Here, I'll even cut down there so I can get this out and work with it a bit easier. And then you just want to cut this last little bit off right around here. Ooh, missed this spot back here. Now we can set the other body off to the side. And now you're left with this one big chunk. Now what you're going to want to do, you're going to want to make sure that you clip off all these tiny little pieces like right here. You're going to want to make sure that you get them off and that they go flying. Next we're going to take care of this one. And then you're going to want to take care of this one. Those things love flying, just like this helicopter is going to love flying too. Then you're going to want to clean up this back a little bit because you got that last little clip there. And then just remember this little tiny front piece right here. You're just going to want to clean that up just a tad. Now, you don't have to do this, but I would recommend it. And that you got these much brighter brown spots on the bottom, basically everywhere you cut. I don't really particularly enjoy running my hand through there because that feels rough. I don't know if you guys are gonna get this model, that feels rough. But what I recommend is taking a nail file, something like this, something simple, don't need to take or spend too much on a nail file, and just slowly rub it through. Now, it'll be a bit scratched up, but as long as you got some paint, you can fix that up with a little tiny piece of paint. Now, you're just going to want to finish up here. And there we go. And then do as the instructions say, and try not to make your model break before you finish it. So now that we've got that piece sorted out, we want to grab E27, E26 right there. Now, I'm going to give you guys just a little teeny bit of time to figure out where on here it is, and we're going to see who gets it first. Let me know if you find it before me in the comments section below. I'm going to give you a hint. It's somewhere down here. Time is up. If you guessed these two right here, you guessed correctly. And good job. Now, we're going to, just like before, we're going to want to grab our handy dandy pliers. And we're going to be cutting out E27 first. Now, with other models, it is a bit easier to tell which are which. So with this would be E. But unfortunately, it is not, oh my goodness, it is not marked there, but other models, it is, which is a very big help for modelers like me. I'm just going to set that there. So E27, you are going to want to set it like that, but first, as you may know, always just want to clip off this little tiny piece of excess. And then, so you're going to want to just envision what you're going to be doing. So this, so you can see, you got a little strap right there. You got a little point right in this rudder. If my camera will focus, just right in the center there, you can kind of see that. And then in this one, you got a little tiny hole right there, you can see. So what you're going to want to do is take this and put it just like that. Just envision where it's going to go before you actually attach it. So you're going to want to put it there. Then you're going to want to grab out E26 just as the instructions say. So E26, as we already know, is right there. So we're going to be taking our pliers, or clippers, whatever you want to call them, just lightly clipping them. Clip them out. set that off to the side. Now you got this. Now you might be thinking, Model Master, why are you using your left hand, not your right? Well, I'm actually left-handed, which in some cases is a pretty big help. But in other cases, it's a pretty big hinder. But I do like being left-handed. So just like before, we're going to want to grab our handy-dandy glue, lightly take out the cap, and some glue is already there. We're gonna squeeze just a teeny bit out. Make sure to always put the glue back, or the lid back on the glue. Take your toothpick or whatever you are using. Put a little dollop just like that. My camera will focus. Just like that, right on there. Here. Just a little tiny piece. If your hands are shaky, that's alright. I've known some people that their hands are very, very shaky. But don't never be afraid to ask for help with a parent. I'm sure most of your parents have helped or has modeled anything before. I'm mixing up my words. My parents actually were the ones that got me into this, and I've always liked it ever since. So you're going to want to set it just like that. You're going to want to let it dry. So you're just going to want to either set it in front of a fan, or you can use nature's natural breath of your wind. Now, once that is dry, I put it on sideways. Gosh darn it. But that's alright. That's what modeling's for, making mistakes. Then again, that's what everything is for, making mistakes. But you can always fix it. That is what I've come to learn. You can always fix your mistakes, and it will be fine. Or at least most times you can fix your mistakes. But it's going to be set just like that. You're going to want to let that dry. And while you're letting that dry, I hope you cut this little piece out. And then you're going to want to take your glue. There we go. Take your glue and just gently, if you need more, then that's fine. Just take as much as you need. Just slowly start working your way around the model. Then you're going to want to place it in the exact same spot. If you get glue on your hands, that's fine. It will come off. And then you're just going to want to set it just like that, I believe. And so in the end, it will look like that. Now, we're going to be attaching this right to these little lines right here. Right there, which will look fantastic and probably might be a good place to stop for the day, maybe. So what you're going to want to do, you're going to take your handy dandy glue, just put a little dabble on your cardboard or whatever you are using on. Always use cardboard, something that is reusable or you can get rid of, so that you do not do any damage to your own or someone else's property. That is not good. We're just going to want to finish putting the glue there. You're going to want to take this part. Just going to want to set it there gently. And then, in the end, you'll end up something that looks just like that. And if you guys are super stoked about this, like I was for the first time ever building a model, take photos of a before and a after. So this is before you completed it, and then you're going to take an after. So next, you're going to want to grab you need to do this both left and right side. I missed that. So that was my mistake. But that is fine, because you never ever can go wrong with making mistakes. Because you're only human, or you're whatever, and you can at least try to fix them. So you're going to want to clip out these other two ones. There's one. It is falling. So you're going to clip out the first one that is right here. Then you're going to want to clip out 1 and 2. There we go. And just like before, we're going to want to grab our glue. Hopefully you still got some glue from gluing all those together. You don't want to be wasteful with your glue. Unless you have a lot of this on hand, which I don't think many people do. Just make sure to be sparing with your glue. Try to make the best use of it. Like maybe you could use one little packet of glue for multiple models, like I did. So then, what you're gonna want to do, just like before, close that up. Let that dry. Now, as you can see, I got a little bit of glue on my hands, but that is perfectly fine. It's not the end of the world. But that now it's all closed up. Now again, you're going to want to take your E, and you're going to want to take out 22. Now, if you don't have a pair of pliers like I do, which are super cheap, I recommend getting them. But one little neat trick that I learned from from a person that passed down this to me, modeling to me, just lightly twist it, and most times it will pop out, and it will look perfectly fine. Like you may have a little tiny strand here, but that's fine. You can always take nail file or something and just lightly shave that off. So then, just like before, you're going to want to take the rest of the glue, and you're going to just go around the entire outside, just like this. We're just going to keep going. And then, you're going to end up like that. Put that on there. And then you're going to end up with another one, which is perfect. And if you've been following along, then you have gotten to this point where you have this and this. So next, what you're going to want to do is the exact same steps where you grab these two right here from E again, and you're going to want to put them in the exact same spot. So remember, X-Acto knife or pliers, clip, clip, and if they fall out, that's fine, as long as you can pick them up and make sure pieces are not damaged. That is fine. There we go, and then you gotta just shave off the last little bits here. Just make sure, very delicate and very, very gentle. Think of a model as a lot of glassware. You don't want to drop it, because then it will break. So then, next, you're going to want to just get a bit more glue on your cardboard. Take your thing, put it right on there again. this. I'm starting to look back at the instructions, which is always fine. Put it there, let that sit, and let it dry. So you'll have it just like that. Let that sit and dry. Then you're going to want to grab out this piece again. So you're going to want to go clip. And you're also going to want to go, whew, this is a bit hard to hold. I'm going to go ahead and move that. You're going to want to grab your glue. And if that other piece is dried, that is perfect. But if it's not, that is also fine. I would recommend you let it dry. But if you don't, then that is perfectly fine. You just got to be way more delicate. Not like that. So you're going to set it just like that. Then you're going to make sure they line up as best as you can, just like that. You're going to want to let this sit and dry. Now, again, we're going to be grabbing the other body part. We're going to be taking our clippers. We're going to go clip, 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 and clip. That side's up, that's fine. Make sure to always get rid of this in the proper way. Do not throw it out in an improper way. We want to be nice to Mother Earth. She helps us out in so many other ways. The least we could do is help her out in a little bit. Now you're going to end up with this again, which is amazing. If next, I believe, you got these two parts, and you've almost got this part completely done, which is perfect. So again, just like before, take your glue right onto here. If you get strings on the glue or on the model, that is fine. I'm going to take this, and take your air intake, put it on just like that. Make sure, whoop, this one does not want to sit there. There we go. Make sure that it's touching the back just like that. Make sure that's as closed off as you can make it. Now, this back doesn't really want to sit, which is unfortunate, but nothing just a little tiny dab of glue can't fix. You're going to take the glue, I'm going to place it just like that, and let that dry. I'm actually going to get just a tiny bit more. And then we're going to let that sit and dry. But we're going to go ahead and get this next piece set up. And it should look like that. If you don't have it looking like that, then you possibly have done something wrong. Which it seems I have but that is fine. Or you can always correct it. Yours might need a bit more glue. Just like that. Hopefully that will stay. So next you're going to want to get E31 and E30. So for your left side, you're going to want your, where is it? So apparently everything is E30, or at least some things are E30, which is completely fine, just a bit more confusing. So we're gonna want this and this. So we're gonna go clip 1, clip 2. We're gonna go ahead and turn this. There's one out. So this is E30. So this will be for your right side, the side you just did. Now you always want to make sure that you clip out one at a time. If you clip out both at a time, it will just get confusing and you will be confused, I guarantee it. So you're going to want to grab this one right here. Now if you look at the instructions again, we're going to see you want it right on from there, about there-ish. So we're going to want it, you can see, just a little line right there, indicating this will go just like that somewhere, which is very, very useful. Oh, my mistake, this goes right here. So it'll sit very pretty and very beautiful, just like that. But gotta glue, most fun part of modeling. Get your glue ready. If you get some glue on the table, that is fine. Make sure you just clean up your table afterwards. So you grab your glue. You make sure you get every spot that you can. Get a tiny bit more glue. There we go. So then, just like before, take this, line it up with its marks. Put it just like that. It'll look a bit bulbous, which is perfect. And then let that dry. And while that's drying, we're going to go ahead and get the next side ready. So next you're going to want this one right here. Alright, clip off that little bit of excess. Oop. Cannot have these. Just twist those off. So it's going to sit just like this right on here. So, again, I'm going to sound like a broken record soon. Grab your glue. We're going to apply the glue right here. I'm gonna go ahead and take a little bit of off the top. And then you apply it just right there. Then you can see both of your parts have the glue spot. Now we're not gonna be getting this all done today, but we're gonna go ahead and call it a day. Next, I will be showing you the wheels right here. We're gonna be calling that a day. And remember, if you got it looking just like this, if you put them together and they look perfect, then you are doing something right. Make sure you're nice to everyone. Hope you have a fantastic day, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you had a very Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays, whichever one you celebrate. And I will hopefully see you on my next video. Bye-bye.